Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the show. I'm so excited to be introducing to you today brand new artist, Matias. Hi, Matias. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for asking. So, Matias, I just wanted to ask you right off the bat, what attracted you to music in the first place?
So I've been doing music since I was a kid. I've been doing music since I was 7 years old. And it was funny. I don't know. When I was a little kid, I used to run around and I would actually sing. I don't know if you remember that little frog, like the Figaro frog, he used to jump out of the box and sing and stuff like that. So I used to just imitate that. And I don't know. I always had a passion for it. It's something just always been my calling, and I've loved it. It feels like it's always been a part of me.
I love that. I do feel like for a lot of artists, it's just like you're either born with it or you love it from a young age. And, that's just typically how it goes. So I love hearing the little stories of the artists we hear nowadays, like how they were running around 5 years old in their diapers singing and all that.
Yeah, that was
So
definitely me.
thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Matias, I
Yeah.
wanted to talk to you and talk to your fans about your brand new music. So just about a week ago, you released a brand new song, Porque Amor, and it's already got almost 100,000 views on YouTube, and I'm sure just as many, if not more, streams on all the other platforms. Can you talk to us a little bit about what the process of creating the song was like?
Yeah, so Porque Amor was a pretty interesting song because I was kind of dabbling around during this whole quarantine thing with a bunch of different music. With this whole thing that went down, I had a lot of time to really sit down in the studio and start, developing more music and kind of trying to figure out, what I want to do as far as my sound moving forward and for this next year and just kind of moving forward my career. And Porque Amor kind of came to me as, a love song, but I think also something that's very relatable to almost every single person out there. I think everyone at some point in time has gone through a challenge in a relationship, and it's about, being able to try to find a way to save that relationship or finding a way to kind of, overcome the problems that you have, through love. So, the process for me was really interesting. I was trying to focus on that. And I think that, bringing in the bachata element for me, bachata has such a deep rooted history of being about love and being about, passion. So for me, it was like I wanted to find a way to really put those two mediums together, and I felt like a bachata song was a really great way to kind of, push that whole message that I was trying to put across with the song.
I definitely feel that way. I want to let you know that I feel like your voice on a bachata track, I mean, come on, it was amazing. And it was
Thank you.
definitely a twist from what we've heard from you before. So I really appreciate that. I wanted to ask
No,
you,
thank
since
you.
it is a bachata and it's romantic music, nowadays we kind of don't hear so much bachata anymore. We don't hear so much romantic music anymore. Ahora es
Mhm.
reggaeton y perreo, right? So I
Yeah.
wanted to know, in your opinion, how do you feel releasing this kind of music?
I think that it's something that honestly, to some degree, I feel like it's needed. You know what I mean? And I think you are seeing a small resurgence of it. I mean, if you look at artists like Camilo from Colombia, he just released a new bachata track. Kea, he just released like a trap bachata track. So I think there is a resurgence of it coming back, and I don't know, like I think that I love reggaeton and I love urbano music, and that's been part of my whole catalog as music as well. But I think I like to try different things. Like the best kind of music in my opinion is music that you can kind of combine genres and mix and mash, like even with Porque Amor, there's a section in the verse that kind of takes on more of like a urbano type feel, so I think the key to any music is kind of just being able to innovate and do something different, and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. As a musician and as an artist, I feel like that's really where you develop and you find, the coolest things that you create within your project is really stepping outside of what is, your normal everyday thing that you're used to doing.
Oh my God, that's so exciting that you're like dabbling into other genres and all that. I definitely do feel like Porque Amor is like a bachata moderno, which I mean, it
Mhm.
fits in perfectly with the generation we're in and everything. You have like your little urban sounds mixed in with the classic bachata beat. It's completely danceable. And speaking of that, the video is incredible. Not only are you a singer, but you are an actor because I mean, come on, you were totally in all of your fields in the video. Can you tell us a little bit about how recording it was?
Yeah, so it's funny. I love anything that's involved with art, right? That's for me. I'm a creationist. I'm someone who likes to put together, content and build content, no matter what it is. But it was pretty neat. So the video I actually shot with my team in Colombia, and we kind of came up with the concept between me and my videographer, and just kind of built this whole idea out. And I really wanted to make something that was kind of simple but powerful. And I mean, I honestly looked to a lot of like when I was listening to the record and thinking about the concept, I looked to a lot of like Prince Royce videos too, because I think there is something to be said just for having that, that intense relationship between, the two principal characters and, me with this girl. And it's just kind of, I don't know, there's a tension there, and having her, dancing throughout the video, I thought just really kind of like it put it all together. And I've seen that a lot with like Prince Royce's stuff too. So I was like, you know what? I mean, I want to follow the influences of what that music calls for. And I felt like that was something that really like, I don't know, it tied the whole thing together for me. But the girl, she was, Camila, she's a phenomenal dancer. I think she did a really great job. And, the whole team, I mean, it was a pleasure being able to kind of put that whole thing together and just kind of watch my vision come to a reality.
I love your guys' vision for the video because, like you said, it's got that like really artistic vibe to it. I already told you you were an incredible actor in it because I believe yo vi tu dolor. Like I was there with you. I was like, oh my god, the pain, the breakup. And then you've got Camila dancing, and then you guys coming together for some scenes, and then it's that back and forth. And I really love that whole vision. And like you said, your vision came to life. So I'm so happy it did, and we got to witness it because it's like a classic bachata, beautiful video, and you guys absolutely killed it. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you,
I'll be dancing to it.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah. So now I wanted to backtrack a little bit because before our interview, even you told me that you're new to Spanish music. You just started working on your Spanish music now. So how do you feel like the transition from English to Spanish has been for you?
Well, I think it's been something really interesting. I mean, this past year really solidified, I think, my path on where I want to go as an artist and what I'm looking for as far as next year too. Because, again, just kind of learning Spanish within only the past couple of years was a big challenge. And I don't know, I've always been into challenges. I guess I'm kind of like one of those kind of people that I get bored too easily. So, I mean, for me, like learning Spanish and then being able to sing with it was like is something that was really a challenge. But I think it's also really cool because it also really allowed me to connect with my roots, And I mean, with this particularly with this whole pandemic, I spent most of that in Colombia, and I couldn't go anywhere. I was locked inside all the time. So, I mean, it was really neat to be able to kind of really dig into not only like my culture, but also being able to dig into new and different types of music that I can work on. And I mean, pretty much all the music that I've released within the past, I guess, couple of months and everything I have come lined up for this following year was pretty much all like produced and composed in the middle of this whole pandemic and quarantine. So it was pretty neat. And the transition, I mean, it's definitely something that's, it has its caveats and it's a challenge, but I like challenges and I like being able to kind of, push myself again outside of my comfort zone. I feel like if you don't push yourself outside of your comfort zone, then there's no room for growth.
Absolutely. I love that with this time that we've been like staying at home and quarantining and all that, a lot of artists, including yourself, have had the time to dabble into other little music and subgenres and all that and just really test yourselves and see what different kind of sounds you guys can come up with. I love that because like this song, it's a bachata. It's different from what we've heard from you before. Even a song that you released a few months ago, No Me Dejes Solo, that's a completely different sound. It's more like commercial pop, mixed with urbano and all that. Nothing like this new one, Porque Amor. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, again, I think it's just kind of it's finding different genre, like kind of blending and bending. Like for No Me Dejes Solo, for example, to me, I had a lot of influence. At the time I was listening to a lot of like Rosalia type stuff, and I was like, I think it'd be really cool to create something with that kind of Spanish type vibe, but mixing that a little bit of the urbano type feel. But I didn't want to, I didn't want to copy that style because I feel like, that's her thing. So I think it was just kind of trying to find again like an influence that put my own flavor and my own spin on it. And I mean, in all reality, coming from, the pop English world and kind of, growing up on a mix of that and Latin music and kind of a whole different diversity of music, I'm always going to have my own, sound to it. But I think the key is, again, finding, I don't know, it's finding a mix in genres and being able to kind of put your own taste to it. It's like cooking, it's like you have your own tu sabor, algo así. It's like, it's something finding that flavor that fits to you.
Yeah, yeah, and you're definitely fitting in con ese sabor latino. You definitely found your own flavor. Even with No Me Dejes
Thank
Solo,
you.
I absolutely love that song. I've been listening to it a lot lately, and I feel like you really came up with you cooked up your own sound, like you said. You really did because it's like really unique. I don't feel like I've heard a sound like that before, which is super hard because I mean, come on, all the music being put out and everything, but it's got such a great vibe to it, so much so that you've even gained recognition from outlets like Univision and Euphoria Music, which is absolutely crazy. How do you feel?
Oh, I mean, no, when I got that news, I mean, I was just like, I was blown away, and I gotta give credit to Matt. He was a critical component of that, Sound Days, and he works with my PR for here in the U.S. and he killed it. And like when he told me that, I was like, whoa, like, that's wild. So I mean, it's something that I think it was really a surprise, and again, we were talking before the interview, like that's my first song that I put out, fully in Spanish. Everything before that was kind of, primarily English or like, kind of a mix of the two. So I was definitely like kind of blown away when I first saw that news. I was like, it's pretty awesome. That's a big publication to be talking about my new song. So the goal is just to keep pushing out and pushing forward, and, lining up this next year is to continue to build more and more, and kind of tell more of that story.
I love that. That's so crazy that it was your first song. And of course, it being your first song in Spanish, you're not expecting something like that to happen. And now you've got Porque Amor. It's only been out for about a week or so. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this new track and everything else that's to come. Can you tell us what can we can expect in the new year, maybe? I'm sure you have a lot of music ready for us.
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys
Maybe
to
a little
keep
sneak
listening.
peek. Of course, we're going to be atentos. You're going to give us your social media handles.
Of course, of course. So I mean, this coming year, yeah, there's during this whole, I was, in the studio pretty much every single day. So I got a lot of music lined up, and I'm really excited. I might have a little surprise coming out around Valentine's Day, in February. So and I got some stuff lined up after that. But the goal is to continue to put out music, and continue to continue with the progression that we've been getting so far. I mean, I'm definitely I'm really excited about these new records though, because I got to be honest, like I think I finally gotten to a point where I really, like you said before, I found a sound that fits to me. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm excited for. Is I really want to share that music with the world. I would love to put it out now, but I mean, yeah, I got some pretty exciting stuff lined up for sure.
And where can we be on the lookout waiting for all this new stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, check me out on my social media. You can check it out at Matias Made It. It's pretty much all the same thing for my YouTube, Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram and YouTube. Those are my main platforms. But yeah, TikTok, all of them. I have them all.
All of the socials. I love that. I love to hear it. We love to hear it. And do you have any message for all the listeners and the viewers here?
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest message is, guys, just keep hanging in there through this quarantine thing. Stay positive, do what you love, find what you love, and don't ever give up on your dreams. And if I can help you with my music to find that, please check out my stuff and take a listen. And I'd love to hear you guys' feedback too.
I love that. That's so sweet, Matias. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at the show. It was such a pleasure talking to you and learning a little bit more about these new hits that you've recently put out.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the invitation. I appreciate it, and speak again soon.